I'm Matt Hayes of Sonex Research, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to disassemble a Honda EU1000i generator. Honda ships all of these generators without any oil or fuel in them, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you have operated a generator, you need to dump the oil and drain the fuel before you do anything else. Start by removing the end covers and the service door. All can be done. Simple Phillips head screwdriver. And then remove the two screws that hold in the fuel shutoff valve and the pull rope. But make sure that you have the valve off before removing the mount. You can just let this guy pull back into the generator by the cord. Then there's Phillips head here again, and on the other side. Secure the electrical panel. Make the generator down on the service door side. Use a number 3 screwdriver with something that will allow you to get some extra torque on it, and a hammer. Put down the screwdriver. Give a good whack to seat the screwdriver, and you'll be able to loosen those bolts. A normal screwdriver, number 2, or screwdriver, but without it being pressed into those bolts, will make them nearly impossible to remove. And remove the 2 in the handle. One thing I probably should have done before removing those bolts is that there is a clip in here. And it is normally easiest to remove it with a small screwdriver. You get under the head of one end of it and pop up. I'll retrieve it later. Lay the generator back down on the service door side again. comes right off. At this point, the whole thing is now exposed. There's a interesting stage here in that if you remove these two bolts, then kind of lift it up and remove the one right here, you can use a long-handled screwdriver to get down to the two screws that hold the side cover with the on. Remove that. You have access to the exhaust manifold where it's easy to change out the exhaust manifold, and you'll also have access to the spark plug area. All that without having to remove it completely from the case. Next step, remove this rubber chunk from the fuel tank and the electronics and converter module. Lift the fuel tank up and out some. And also do what you can with the electronics module and set it to the side. At this point, you have a fuel line leading through the case to the fuel valve and then to the fuel pump. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the valve. And pump. Will allow you to lift both the valve and the pump. If you're going to disconnect the fuel tank, the best place to do it is right here on the engine side of the valve. Remember, the valve is off, so if there is any fuel in the tank, it will prevent that fuel from draining out. Small pair of pliers makes easy work of that hose clamp. Remove the engine support bushings and the engine mount tubes. Hold on. Lift the engine out. I have a small amount of fuel in this engine stove. I had previously run it. So I'm just going to let it drain out of the fuel pump. And then use a long-handled screwdriver and remove the ignition kill switch. located right here. There are 2 screws that hold it in. You now have the engine generator unit still wired to the electronic control module and the electronic interface module. Easy to work on and ready for whatever it is you're going to do with it.